Take a look at this. Flames roaring through a building on Gold just off of 2nd Street in downtown Albuquerque, home to the National Institute of Flamenco and its dance school.
Wow, the Institute called that popular stretch of shops and restaurants home for about 15 years. This is just a devastating blow for everyone associated with that art studio.
And unfortunately, they literally watched their life's work go up in flames yesterday afternoon. News 13's Amanda Goodman was at the fire and caught up with the Flamenco Institute's director.
There goes part of history.
Crowds gathered in downtown Albuquerque to watch as this historic building on Gold near 2nd Street burned.
And that's a major fire.
The call came in around 4:30. Firefighters just blocks away were there right away. But it didn't matter.
It was engulfed. They immediately drew out and went defensive.
Mixed in the crowd of onlookers, Eva Encinias Sandoval.
We run all of our programs out of this building, and it was the home of our school, the Conservatory of Flamenco Arts.
She's the director of the National Institute of Flamenco, a center dedicated to preserving the artistry, history, and culture of flamenco. She and about 9 other people were inside doing office work when they smelled something odd and saw smoke.
By the time we just stepped outside and looked, the roof was on fire, quite advanced fire, so it probably had been burning for a little while.
Firefighters don't know yet what caused it. As they continued their attack, the roof collapsed. The Institute is a total loss.
Oh, I feel like my heart is breaking right now.
Their home for 15 years reduced to rubble. The director says they will rebuild, but that doesn't make this any easier.
It's just a horrible experience.
Amanda Goodman, KRQE News 13.
We are told firefighters stayed there throughout the night to check for hot spots and for flare-ups. While the Institute, unfortunately, is a total loss, they stopped the fire from spreading to the other businesses on the block. There's a gift shop, the Gold Street Cafe as well. Investigators now in the process of trying to figure out exactly what caused that fire. Elizabeth.
A high school student with Down syndrome is waking up in the Metro Detention Center this morning in a cell for one in the medical wing, where we're told that a guard was to watch over him all night. Deputies say 20-year-old Joshua Codwell, a special needs student at Rio Grande High School, randomly attacked a female student in PE yesterday. They say Codwell had already attacked 3 teachers this month as well. Yesterday, deputies say he went up to a girl and put her in a strong chokehold until he was pulled off of her. He was arrested for felony aggravated battery and taken to jail. MDC officials say they can't properly house and monitor someone with Down syndrome, so they made an emergency request that the DA's office ask a judge to let Codwell go home with his mother. The DA's office, however, refused, so that's how he ended up with a guard monitoring him in the medical wing. Today, a judge will decide what to do with Codwell. Well, they've refused to confirm her, and now there is a move by state Democratic leaders to oust controversial state education boss Hannah Scandera, but not by getting rid of her exactly, but getting rid of her position altogether. News 13's Alex Goldsmith explains.
My objective is to take politics out of public education.
Democratic State Senator Michael Padilla of Albuquerque says he wants to bring stability to the public education system.
We ask our teachers to go dramatically in one direction when one governor comes into office, and then we change the rules for them the next time a governor comes in office.
So Padilla wants to change the state constitution to eliminate the position of education secretary, effectively putting current and controversial appointee Hannah Scandera out of a job. Instead of the governor picking the state's top educator, that job would fall to a 10-person elected school board, which would choose a statewide superintendent. It's not a new idea. That's essentially how things were done in New Mexico until 2003, when Bill Richardson asked voters to give the governor's office more power.
What I propose holds me, working with the legislature, directly accountable for our school's performance.
That year, voters approved creating the post of education secretary.
I don't see why we would take 20 steps backwards and get a school board once again when the people have already spoken when they had the opportunity to do so.
Senator Padilla insists this isn't about targeting Scandera, it's about improving the system.
We tried this system, and we should try different things. This one just didn't work.
Alex Goldsmith, KRQE News 13.
Now, what Padilla is proposing is a constitutional amendment which does not need the governor's approval. If the bill passes both the democratically controlled House and Senate, in the next month's session. Then it goes directly to voters in the next election.
Albuquerque's DWI vehicle forfeiture rule is now being challenged in a class action lawsuit.
The city is seizing vehicles from owners who are in many cases innocent. They haven't been convicted, even arrested, or they weren't even driving the vehicles that were seized.
Attorney Justine Fox-Young filed a suit on behalf of 7 plaintiffs who had to pay to get their cars back after they say someone else drove drunk in them without their knowledge. Lawsuit claims the city rules violate innocent owners' due process rights. City attorneys say the law does let innocent owners get their cars back, but some of those owners aren't as innocent as they claim.
People have a duty to exercise some management over their property and make sure that somebody else that may perhaps be impaired is not using your car.
Under Albuquerque's rules, the city can seize cars from convicted drunk drivers caught driving drunk again on driving on a revoked license. A young burglar who claims he's broken into 500 homes and businesses and cars in Albuquerque has now cut a deal for significantly fewer crimes. There's no way to verify that Joseph Barlow here actually did what he says. He is charged with 12 counts and he's being allowed to plead guilty to just 5. Prosecutors say his supervisors felt this was the best route to take. However, Judge Judith Nakamura insisted Barlow make restitution to the victims in all 12 cases. She then sentenced him to 3 years in prison and 5 on probation.
Listen to this. A Santa Fe mailman did more than his job delivering mail. He also turned into an investigator and caught a burglar. While out on his route, the mailman noticed a strange vehicle, the dog barking, and an unfamiliar man in the driveway of a home. So he took down the license plate number, and after his deliveries, he returned to find out that he was right. You see, the home had been burglarized. He called police and gave them the license plate number. And within minutes, they arrested 21-year-old Lucas Garcia and his accomplice, 46-year-old Gloria Gurule. The homeowner is beyond thankful.
They're interacting with the houses every day, so absolutely. They should get to know them as much as they can. They should tip them well at the holidays, yeah, they should thank them for the hard work that they do.
It's true. You know, detectives actually say that Lucas Garcia admitted to burglarizing the home to support his heroin habit. It is a good reminder that thieves are out there for anything they can get this holiday season. Someone actually stole 73-year-old John Johnson's new expensive hearing aids over the weekend in Roswell, if you believe it. This happened while he and his wife were moving to a different apartment. The hearing aids cost $4,000, and they have to pay $1,000 just to get them replaced.
My hearing aids was a lifesaver because I could converse with other people, and I love to talk and I love to be out in the open.
Roswell police say the Johnsons weren't the only targets. Someone stole a man's wheelchair ramp from this home on Monday. Police aren't sure if the 2 crimes are related.